Good morning, students. I hope you all are fine. Student, our today's subject is history. We are going to start another chapter in history, that is chapter number 9, the Maratha War of Independence. So let's start with the introduction first. After the death of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, the Marathas fought with a great valor. Valor means quality of honor. With the Mughals under the leadership of Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj, Chhatrapati Rajaram Maharaj, student Chhatrapati Rajaram Maharaj was the son of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and Maharani Tarabai to protect the Swaraj. This long war that lasted for 27 years is called the Maratha War of Independence. In 1682 CE, Emperor Aurangzeb himself led the invasion of South. Even then, despite enormous difficulties, the Marathas emerged. Emerge means come out, victorious in his struggle. This war is an exciting and glorious period in the history of India. In this chapter, we shall learn about this war of independence. Now see, student, in this lesson deals with after the Shivaji Maharaj death, how did Swaraj maintain? How did the associates of Shivaji Maharaj able to maintain Swaraj, able to fight with foreign powers? Now in this fight, who lead the Swaraj? Who fight for Swaraj after the death of Shivaji Maharaj? So we can see Sambhaji Maharaj, Rajaram Maharaj and his wife Tarabai. These three were the prominent leader in the fight for Swaraj, in the fight for sovereign independent state after the death of Shivaji Maharaj. The Aurangzeb, after the death of Shivaji Maharaj, thought that now the leader is dead. Now I can easily get the Maratha powers, emperor under my control because Shivaji Maharaj is no more. But his thinking was wrong. He thought Maratha troops were weak, but they were not. After the death of Shivaji Maharaj, Aurangzeb thought to occupy the south in the year 1682. So, this was his first plan for conquering the Maratha kingdom. So the Maratha War of Independence to then the full process after the death of Shivaji Maharaj also lasted for lengthy periods of 27 years. So all this process after the death of Shivaji Maharaj, it lasted for how many years? 27 years. This long war, which was last for 27 years, this war is actually called as Maratha War of Independence, which we are going to learn in this chapter. So first is we are going to learn about Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj. Let's see. Sambhaji Maharaj was the eldest son of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. He was born on 14th May 1657 on the Purandar fort. After Shivaji Maharaj, he became the Chhatrapati. At this time, the Maratha were battling against the Mughals. During the same period, Emperor Aurangzeb's son Shahzada Akbar rebelled. Student, underline this word rebelled. Rebel means refused to accept authority against his father. The emperor crushed his rebellion. Then Akbar came to the Deccan to take shelter with Sambhaji Maharaj. Then the emperor himself descended on the south in 1682 CE to vanquish Akbar. Vanquish means beat. He had with him a huge army and a powerful artillery. He asked the Siddhi of Janjira to undertake an expedition against the Marathas. He also won over the Portuguese to his side. Consequently, Sambhaji Maharaj had to face many adversaries. Adversaries means opposition, at one hand the same time. Now see student what happened over here. Student, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj was born on 14th May 1657 on the Purandar fort. Okay, and he was the eldest son of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. So after Shivaji Maharaj, he became the Chhatrapati, right? Now at this time when Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj became the Chhatrapati, so at this time the Marathas were battling against Mughals, and during the same time student there will be a conflict between father and son. Yes, Aurangzeb and Shahzada Akbar. Aurangzeb's son is Shahzada Akbar. So there will be a conflict, fight between Aurangzeb and his son Shahzada Akbar. Both have a conflict against each other, and the son Shahzada Akbar grew rebellion, and Akbar took shelter with Sambhaji Maharaj. Means Akbar was against, he don't want to take the authority. So he was against his father and he took shelter with Sambhaji Maharaj. Now Akbar very well knew that Sambhaji Maharaj was the number one enemy of the own father, right? He knew na that Sambhaji Maharaj was the enemy of my father. This made Aurangzeb more curious, more angry. Why? Because my own son joined hand support my own enemy, and my enemy Sambhaji Maharaj also gave shelter to my son, also supporting my son. So what does this curious Aurangzeb do? Aurangzeb now got a support of Portuguese. So what he did? He got a support from Portuguese. He joined hand with the Portuguese. Now see next what happened. When Sambhaji Maharaj became Chhatrapati, the war with the Mughals became fiercer, means extreme violent. Aurangzeb wanted to occupy regions from Kabul to Kanyakumari and create a grand unified means united into whole Mughal empire. His dream was to destroy the Maratha state completely using his military and financial prowess. Prowess means skill which you can learn from study. But Sambhaji Maharaj shattered his dream with his bravery and military skills. Troops of the Maratha army attacked many of the Mughals. The emperor's general tried very hard for a long time. They couldn't win the Maratha fort of Ramsej near Nasik. Thus, Sambhaji Maharaj's valor brought Aurangzeb to his knees. Once he removed his turban in frustration and threw it on the floor. He made a vow. Vow means pledge, that until he had vanquished Sambhaji, he will not wear his turban. Sambhaji Maharaj had rendered Aurangzeb helpless to his extent. Now see student. Now what was Aurangzeb actually dream? So he was dreaming that from Kabul to Kanyakumari to conquer whole of India. Now what did Aurangzeb started? So he said, now I will attack the fort of Ramsej near Nasik, which is in Nasik, right? So that this time also Maratha gave great resistance to Aurangzeb, the Mughal army. But student, Sambhaji Maharaj shattered his dream with his bravery and military skill. Now after the Ramsej incident student, right, what Aurangzeb had decided now, that now I will capture, I will conquer, I will attack the Ramsej fort which is in Nasik. So with his army he went to Ramsej, and there will be a fight between Aurangzeb and Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj. Now after the Ramsej incident student, Aurangzeb became very curious. He became very hopeless. You know what he do student? In his anger, you can see in the image, in this anger, student, Aurangzeb removed his turban. Because in this battle, student, between Sambhaji Maharaj and Aurangzeb, Sambhaji Maharaj, with his bravery, he used his military skills, he used his troops and attacked the Mughal territories. So, after having all these, students, Aurangzeb became very curious, very frustrated, and in his frustration, student, he threw his turban on the floor. And what he said, he made a vow. Vow means he made a pledge that he take a oath that he will not wear a turban until he destroyed the Sambhaji Maharaj and he conquered the Maratha army, the Maratha kingdom. I want to reign the Maratha kingdom because Aurangzeb's first dream was to conquer the Maratha kingdom, was to capture the Maratha kingdom. And here he tries his attempt, but again here he was unsuccessful. So, with because of this, student, he taken oath that now I will reign the Maratha kingdom, I will conquer the Maratha army, unless and until till then I will not going to wear my turban. Okay, so this was about Sambhaji Maharaj. Now next we are going to see campaign against the Siddhi. Now let's see what happened over here. The Siddhi of Janjira used to harass the people in the Maratha territory. He used to raid. Raid means, student, attack, burn and loot the Maratha territory and commit atrocities. Atrocities means inhuman. Sabhat Sada has described him as a rat in the house. Shambhaji Maharaj started a campaign against him in 1682 CE. His army laid a siege to Siddhi's Dandarajpuri fort and battered means damage, the fort of Janjira with the artillery. Artillery means weapons. But at the same time, the Mughal army invaded Swaraj, occupy. Sambhaji Maharaj had to abandon means control, the Janjira campaign and turn back. Now see, student, what happened over here against campaigns against Siddhi. Now, student, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj started the campaigns against Siddhi, right? First, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj had fight with the Aurangzeb, right? And Aurangzeb was not success. Now Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj has fighting against whom? Against Siddhi, right? They also, who was Siddhi, student? Siddhi were also a foreign power. In order to fail foreign power, now Sabhat Sada. Student, Sabhat Sada is also a writer. So he used to describe in his description that Siddhis were actually a rat in the house. This is what we came to know. You know ना, जब हमारे घर में रैट आ जाता है तो पूरा क्या करता है, सब कुछ डिस्ट्रॉय कर जाता है. तो सब्बा सदा जो एक पोएट है, उसने अपने डिस्क्रिप्शन में लिखा था कि सिद्धीस कौन है. सिद्धीस वर एक्चुअली रैट इन द हाउस एंड दिस रैट्स वर नाउ एंटर्ड वेयर in the Maratha kingdom. Let's see what happened now. So, student, Siddhis were harassing the people of the Maratha territory, right? What Siddhis were actually doing? They were harassing the Marathas people, Marathas territory. They attack the people, they burn the people, they loot all the wealth of the Maratha territory, the people of the Maratha territory. So, Shambhaji Maharaj started a campaigns against Siddhi by seeing all this to trade him, to deal him, to teach him a lesson, because as you know that what is the first rule of Swaraj, that yes, we have learned what was the first rule of Swaraj, that we have to care for the right king. He was to care for the subject, the farmers, the cultivators, and all sections of the society. King has to treat them equally and treat them equally and not harass the people, but he should always take care of the people. This was the first rule of the Swaraj, right? So, student, here Siddhi used to harass the people, and Shambhaji Maharaj has seen all this, so he decided to teach him a lesson. Because student, Siddhi's technique, they used to raid a people's house and collect the wealth, food, grain, vegetables. So what did Shambhaji Maharaj decided? He decided to start a campaigns against Siddhi in 1682. So his army led a siege to Dandarajpuri fort and damaged the fort with artillery. Right? So where did Sambhaji Maharaj attack? They attacked Dandarajpuri fort and damaged the fort with the artillery. So with the help of artillery, student, Shambhaji Maharaj attacked the fort of Janjira because he wanted to teach Siddhi a lesson, because they were harassing a people, right? So here what happened? Sambhaji Maharaj attacked the Dandarajpuri fort and damaged the fort with the artillery. Not only this, they also controlled the Janjira campaign and then he turned back. Understood? Now next we are having is campaigns against Portuguese. Now Sambhaji Maharaj is fighting against whom? Portuguese. Let's see. The Portuguese of Goa joined hands with the emperor against Sambhaji Maharaj. So Sambhaji Maharaj decided to teach a lesson to the Portuguese. He attacked the Revdanda fort of the Portuguese in 1683 CE. To counter this, the Portuguese laid a siege to the Fonda fort of the Marathas on the Goa border. The Maratha broke through the siege and attacked Goa. In this battle, Yashaji Kang showed great valor. The Portuguese governor got wounded and retreated. Retreated means fall back. Sambhaji Maharaj followed him. The Portuguese were in deep trouble. At this time, Sambhaji Maharaj got the news that the Mughals had attacked South Konkan. Therefore, he had abandoned control the winning campaign of Goa and returned to fight with the Mughals. Now see student what happened over here. After the Janjira episode, student, the Siddhi's episode, what was Sambhaji Maharaj next target? So the Sambhaji Maharaj next target was the Portuguese. So now Sambhaji Maharaj started a campaign against Portuguese, and this is the Revdanda fort. So here the fighting is happening where? Yes, at the Revdanda fort, right? Now student, so where does this Portuguese live? This Portuguese student, they are from Goa, right? And what did Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj do? He attacked the Revdanda fort of the Portuguese in 1683 CE. And to counter this, Portuguese also laid a siege attack against Marathas to the Fonda fort on the Goa border. See student, first Shivaji Maharaj attacked the Portuguese fort, that is Revdanda fort, and to counter attack means रिटर्न में अटैक करने के लिए देयर वाज अ मराठास फोर्ट. मराठा का फोर्ट था गोवा बॉर्डर के पास. कौन सा वाला? फोंडा फोर्ट. सो पोर्चुगीज इन रिटर्न पोर्चुगीज अटैक द मराठा फोर्ट, दैट इज फोंडा फोर्ट, which is on the Goa border. Now see next what happened. During this attack, student, Portuguese governor were badly wounded and he was running. So what did Sambhaji Maharaj do? Sambhaji Maharaj followed him, right? So during this fight, student, the governor of Portuguese were badly injured and Sambhaji Maharaj was followed him. And student, by seeing this, the Portuguese were in deep trouble. When all this was happening, student, when Shambhaji Maharaj was about to win this battle against Portuguese. But again, what happened, student? Your student, Shambhaji Maharaj was almost winning this battle. पूरा जीतने के लिए आ चुके थे संभाजी महाराज ये बैटल. एंड स्टूडेंट, बीच में से ही व्हाट हैपेंड, संभाजी महाराज गॉट न्यूज़ that Aurangzeb's army was coming towards the Maratha, towards South Deccan. So he was to leave this battle, the winning battle in between. It's so bad ना स्टूडेंट, जब आप लोग कोई गेम खेलते हो, आपकी मम्मा आपको बीच में से आवाज़ देते हो तो आपको बुरा लगता है ना. सो इसी तरह स्टूडेंट, ये बैटल जो थी पोर्चुगीज़ के साथ में, संभाजी महाराज वॉज ऑलमोस्ट विन द बैटल एंड बीच में से सडनली ही गॉट अ न्यूज़ दैट कि औरंगज़ेब ने क्या किया, अपनी आर्मी के साथ मराठास की तरफ आ रहा है, मराठास किंगडम की तरफ आ रहा है टूवर्ड साउथ कोकन एंड डेक्कन. सो आफ्टर हर्ड दिस, संभाजी महाराज को क्या करना पड़ा, ये विनिंग बैटल बीच में से ही छोड़ के उनको रिटर्न कहाँ पर जाना पड़ा, साउथ कोंकण जाना पड़ा. एंड ही वॉज टू रिटर्न द मराठा एम्पायर टू मेंटेन द स्वराज स्टेट. स्वराज को बचाने के लिए उनको रिटर्न, ये बैटल को बीच में से ही छोड़ के, विनिंग बैटल को बीच में से छोड़ के मराठा एम्पायर की तरफ वापस जाना पड़ा टू मेंटेन, टू प्रोटेक्ट द स्वराज स्टेट. अंडरस्टूड? Okay. Now next we are having is the end of Adil Shah and Qutub Shahi. Now let's see what happened over here. Aurangzeb did not succeed in his campaign against the Marathas. Therefore, he suspended that campaign. Then he turned towards the kingdoms of Adil Shah and Qutub Shah and conquered them, means curbed them. The wealth and army of both the kingdoms was now acquired by the Mughals, and it made Aurangzeb even stronger. Then he concentrated all his might of defending the Marathas. He attacked the territory from all sides. The Maratha army general Hambirrao Mohite got killed during an encounter with the Mughal army. Due to this blow, the military strength of Shambhaji Maharaj was weakened. Now see student, Aurangzeb changed his technique. He come to know that the Maratha troops were not easy to handle, right? पहले औरंगजेब ने क्या किया, when his son was not against him, he joined hand with Portuguese, right? So then also Portuguese साथ बैटल जीत नहीं पाया. नाउ यहाँ पर उसने अपनी टेक्निक क्या कर दिया, चेंज कर दिया. एंड ही थॉट दैट मराठा ट्रूप्स वर नॉट ईजी टू हैंडल बिकॉज औरंगजेब वॉज ऑलवेज थिंकिंग दैट मराठा ट्रूप्स जो है दे वर वेरी हैंडफुल, वो बहुत कम है, वो कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते. बट मराठा आर्मीज में ऑल्सो यूज ऑफ, दे ऑलवेज यूज their skill, they always use bravery. Okay, so now here what did he say? He planned that, he thought that I will deal with the Maratha later. First, we will deal with other foreign powers who were also his enemies, right? So here what he decided? He decided that now I will deal with the Marathas later on. First, I will deal with the other foreign powers, जो कि क्या है, ये भी मराठास के एनिमी हैं. Who was his enemy student now? ये जो न्यू एनिमीज थे जिसके साथ में औरंगजेब डील करने वाला था, वो कौन थे? दे वे नन अदर देन कुतुब शाही एंड आदिल शाही. सो हियर औरंगजेब जॉइंड हैंड विद कुतुब शाही एंड आदिल शाही. After the death of Adil Shahi and Qutub Shahi student, now here what happened? Aurangzeb had fight with the Qutub Shahi and Adil Shahi, and he killed both the Qutub Shahi and Adil Shahi. Here will be the end of Adil Shah and Qutub Shah, right? Means यहाँ पर क्या था, एक ही एनिमी दूसरे एनिमी को मारने वाला था, एक दुश्मन दूसरे दुश्मन को मारने वाला था, जो कि संभाजी महाराज के लिए क्या हो गया था, एकदम ईजी हो गया था. ये संभाजी महाराज के भी एनिमी थे ना, कुतुब शाही आदिल शाही, जिसको औरंगजेब ने किल कर दिया था, तो उनके लिए क्या हो गया था, और भी इजी हो गया था. सो After the death of Adil Shah and Qutub Shahi's student, Aurangzeb got supreme power. The wealth and army of both the kingdom were received. Who got, yes, Aurangzeb made, right, more stronger. This made Aurangzeb more stronger, right. दोनों जगह की आर्मी, कुतुब शाह और आदिल शाह, दोनों की आर्मी, दोनों का किंगडम, वेल्थ, सब कुछ अभी किसके पास में आ गया? औरंगजेब के पास में आ गया. तो ही गॉट सुप्रीम पावर. इसको और क्या मिल गई? पावर मिल गई. ही बिकम मोर स्ट्रोंगर. नाउ he concentrate all his might, all his power in defeating the Marathas. Okay? अब उसके पास बहुत सारी आर्मी हो चुकी है, बहुत सारे पावर्स, सुप्रीम पावर्स आ चुके हैं. तो अब वो अपना पूरा कॉन्सेंट्रेट कहाँ पे करने वाला है? मराठास पे. ओके. एंड इन दिस अटैक स्टूडेंट, in his campaign, Hambirao Mohite sacrificed his life. Now, who was Hambirao Mohite? We have learned in chapter number 7. Na? He was a great warrior. He was a great army man. So, he got killed during his encounter with Mughal army. Mughal army encountered Hambirao Mohite and he got killed. He sacrificed his life for the Swaraj. Due to this blow, student, the military strength of Shambhaji Maharaj was weakened. After the death of Hambirao Mohite, the Maratha army was, what happened? This was totally weakened. आपको पता है ना, कोई लीडर अगर मर जाता है तो उसके पीछे जो सेना होती है, हाँ, उनके पीछे जो सेना होती है, उनका जो करेज होता है, ब्रेवरी होता है, जो उनका लीडर, जो उनको करेज, जो उनको ब्रेवरी हमेशा उनको सपोर्ट करता है, अगर वो चला जाता है तो क्या हो जाता है? वो पूरी सेना शैटर्ड हो जाती है. राइट. ओके. सो लीडर का काम क्या होता है? सबको साथ लेके चलना. सो हम्बीराव मोहिते laid down his life. He sacrificed his life for the Swaraj and he always take his team along with him. He always show his bravery. सो उसी के जाने के बाद में, एक टीम लीडर के जाने के बाद में, जो उसके पीछे की सेना थी, तो मराठास थी, जो कि जब मराठा किंगडम जो था, मराठा की स्ट्रेंथ जो थी, मिलिट्री स्ट्रेंथ जो थी, क्या हो गई थी? पूरी तरह से शैटर्ड हो गई थी, वीक हो गई थी. किस वजह से? आफ्टर द डेथ ऑफ हम्बीराव मोहिते. एंड हम्बीराव मोहिते sacrificed his life for the Maratha, for the Swaraj. Understood, student? So, here we came to an end of our first part. So, in this first part, we have learned about Chhatrapati Shambhaji Maharaj, who was the eldest son of Shivaji Maharaj, and how he fight with the Aurangzeb bravely using their military skills. After that, we have seen Shambhaji Maharaj campaign against Siddhi, how he fight here with the Siddhi at Dandarajpuri fort and Janjira fort. Then we have learned about campaigns against Portuguese. Here he win the battle, he almost win the battle, but at the end he got a news and he had to return back. Okay, he have to leave the winning battle in between and return the fight with the Mughals. After that, we have learned about how Adil Shah and Qutub Shahi kingdom came to an end by Aurangzeb, and how Chhatrapati Shambhaji Maharaj fight with Aurangzeb. And in this fight, Hambirao Mohite, a great general of Maratha kingdom, sacrificed his life for the Swaraj. So, this we have learned in our first part. Okay? So, I hope student you have understood what we have learned today. So, go through this lesson once again and make a note. Okay? Have a good day everyone and take care. Thank you.